Greetings of love, peace, health, happiness, and prosperity. Hello, beloved. How are you all doing on this fine Sunday? I know earlier this week I said I was going to do something on Saturday morning, and that didn't happen. It sure didn't. I was extremely busy. However, my intentions are always good, and here I am on an appropriate time, an appropriate day on a Sunday. Hope you all had a wonderful time. What's up, Quintara, girl? How you doing? And so let's go ahead and get started because, hello, Ashay. We're going to go ahead and get started to talk about this. So listen, I think I'm going to start a series in reference to just fibroid information. And I'm going to talk about some other health problems too. I'm not going to just talk about fibroids, but I want to go ahead and start a fibroid series just to start it off so people who come to the channel can learn the different type of techniques in reference to fibroid tumors, shrinking fibroids, and things like that. And so we're going to talk about the various techniques that are used to eliminate fibroids because, I have abandoned this channel. I'm back now, for real this time. I always say I'm back and I leave, and I'm back and I leave. But now I'm back. And so we're going to go ahead and start a series where I can educate people. So if they just come out of the blue and come here, then we can basically, we can have that. What's up, Ty? Okay. Glad that y'all are coming by. Hello, everybody. So listen, those of you who are in the chat, and by the way, this video is going to stay up. I'm not going to take parts of this video and turn into I'm not going to take parts of this live stream and turn it into a video. I will keep this up like I did the last one. And I think the next activity on this channel will just be a VOD. It'll just be a regular video. It won't be a live stream. So there's that. So let me go ahead and get some things to straighten out here. Let me get here we go. So let's go ahead and talk about the various methods to eliminate uterine fibroids, because I want you all to know that there's different techniques, and I am not for medical techniques unless you are so far gone and you don't holistic medicine is not for you. Holistic healing is not for you. What's up, Angel? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. So that's that. Let me just also put this out here too. Holistic health is not for everybody. It just isn't. I am not going to be one of these people who will cast pearls to swine. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. I'm just saying I don't waste my time on people to convince them that this is the best method. I've been living this way all my life. I had a wake-up call when I got too lazy and just stopped doing what I've known to do: exercise, eat right, and all that. And I was landing in a hospital with a staph infection. It was very traumatic for me. That was the first, and that will be the last time I am admitted into the hospital for some illness. Okay. So, laying there in quiet, just looking at the wall and just saying, how can I make sure I don't put myself in this situation again? And I'm happy to say it hasn't happened ever again, and it's not going to. Sometimes you've been doing this for so long, sometimes you just get lazy and you just forget, and then life will knock you back into society, into reality, that's the words I'm going to use. So if you're listening to this right now and you only know the medical system, you trust the medical doctors, you fear them, this is not for you. I am not for you. Okay. I'm not going to cater to the "O ye of little faith." Those of us who live this life, those of us who live quality life, we know how this works. And so those who are opened to change their way of thinking, to change their life, they will look at this and realize, okay, you know what? Let me give this stuff a try. Let me educate myself on this a little bit more. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the various techniques. So I am going to read from this list here because I was wondering, was there some new techniques that has been implemented since I have been on my sabbatical, and so far it only looks like one of the number one thing that has been pushed more than anything is not even myomectomies. Once upon a time, myomectomies used to be pushed a lot. Now they are pushing UAE or UFE embolization. So it's like uterine artery embolization or uterine fibroid embolization. These are like small plastic pellets, like PEC. They're plastic pellets that are injected into the vein, the lifelines to the uterus, to the fibroids, and they are used to dam up the vein or the artery there to stop the fibroid from growing. But let me show you how, one, this is dangerous, and two, this does not make the fibroid go away. Does it shrink them a little bit? Absolutely. But guess what? A new lifeline will be created and it will cause the fibroid to grow. Okay? It will cause them to grow even more. This is what they don't tell you. And then they also don't tell you, another thing they don't do is they also don't tell you is that the plastic pellets don't go away, and they are known to travel into, let me just show you what I'm talking about. They are known to travel into the artery, into the heart. Actually, let me show you, you know what I need to do? I need to show you the circulatory system because it's very important. Hold on a second. I got to get rid of this again. It's very important that you all understand the dangers. I'm going to show you the harmful effects, but it's important. Let's see, the circulatory system. It's important that you understand how dangerous this is. Let me see if I can get one of the whole entire body. Here we go. Here's something. I found something. Okay, let's see. All right, here we go. All right, so let me show you now. Okay, one moment. And I'm not looking at the chat right now, so once I finish, I'll look at the chat and answer any questions. Okay, so here's the deal I want you all to understand. This is the circulatory system. These are the arteries and the veins within the body, okay? This is going all, like, what happens is that the old blood or the blood comes into the heart to be filtered, okay, before it also sends it to the liver. And then the liver sends it to the kidneys and the bladder. Understand that when you have a vein filled with plastic particles like this, they will, some, not all, and it doesn't happen to everybody. It just depends on what happens to your body. If you are obese and you lose weight, okay, then, these things will tighten up because, well, you're constricting the fibroids. But if you are thin when you get this done and you get bigger, then your circulatory system is going to expand because you are now pumping in more blood. You also have cholesterol buildup that's going to cause the expansion of the arteries, of the veins. And then this is where you're more likely to have these little tiny particles leave out of the vein and go into the main artery, which will go into the heart and cause either a stroke or heart attack. I have never, ever been on the side of this. I have been against this. It's not to mention that it doesn't get rid of your fibroids. It doesn't get rid of your fibroids. I don't understand this. Also, if you're trying to have a baby, UFE is not the way to go. I don't even know if the doctor, we're going to talk about the side effects of having a UFE. But understand like this, these are small pellets, all right? So what they do is they put them in here and it dams up. And then I guess the lifeline, not guess, that's exactly what happens. That lifeline to the fibroid, causing it to grow, begins to slowly die. But these things like to survive. So just as easy as they created these lifelines, guess what happens? They create a new lifeline. A new lifeline to feed the fibroids. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, ladies, because men don't get this. Okay, men don't get this. Listen what I need you to understand. Until you stop the lifestyle and the habits that and the emotional baggage that caused the existence of fibroids in the first place, they will never go away. Even if you get them removed, which we're gonna talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about that. Even if you get them removed, they're going to come back. Every time they will come back. You cannot sit up here and think that this right here is going to stop that. There will be a new lifeline, and then guess what? They're growing again. And I've known some clients, and by the way, I will turn you away. If you have had a double UFE, and then all of a sudden you're like, they're growing back the third time, I'm just going to tell you, you are now a product of a medical doctor. Okay, I cannot do anything with you. You are now in the danger zone. You're going to have to deal with the medical doctor when it comes to this. You're not going to pass away on my watch. Another thing I want you guys to understand is something else too, is that when you have this happen the first time, and then all of a sudden the fibroids start growing again, why would you get the same procedure the second time? That makes no sense to me. You get it done once, it shrinks it a little bit. Then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they're growing again, and you get it done again. I don't understand this mentality. And I'm like, did you guys not learn the anatomy of the human body? Did you not learn this? Did you not learn how this goes all the way here? Do you not know this? The roadmap to your circulatory system? What is going on now? So let's basically talk about the side effects to these things here. Let me see. I'm going to enlarge this for a second. So, yeah, we're going to make it dark again. So I want to talk about the side effects to uterine fibroid embolization or uterine artery embolization. And I want you all to keep in mind is that you must have this conversation with your medical doctor. Okay? Because this is often the case. And I got to say this again. UFE or UAE will not get rid of your fibroids. And also, there is a 73% chance that if you have had a UFE or UAE, you will be primed to have a hysterectomy. We'll talk about that in a minute. So here are some of the side effects that can occur after having a UFE or UAE procedure. You're going to hemorrhage, abnormal bleeding. Of course, you're going to have injury to the uterus, which is going to cause some problems with PMS, which is going to cause some problems with the inflammation of the uterus. Because let me tell you something about what the uterus does. Is there a bigger picture? Okay, here we go. So when the doctor injects this into the uterus, okay, and it has plastic pellets, understand that plastic pellets are foreign entities. These are foreign objects in the uterus. It's like some women have a bad reactions to an IUD. You all see, I know some females who had a bad reaction to an IUD and they had to have that removed because and this doesn't go with everybody. Let me just say this is not going to happen with every woman. You know, most women are able to keep an IUD in the cavity of their uterus, and some just don't, because the body is like, what is this? This doesn't belong here. And therefore they have abnormal bleeding. They have a huge inflammation in the uterus to the point where it makes them look pregnant. Also, they are having extreme pain because and most of that is coming from cramping, because the body detects something foreign there and creates a contraction in order to expel the foreign object within themselves. That's the reason why some women get these heavy cramps to the point where it almost put them in the hospital, because the uterus doesn't know if that is a dead egg or dead fetus, and therefore it's trying to give you what is the best terminology I can say is a miscarriage, and therefore try to expel that out by contracting the endometrium walls in order to get rid of that. But what happens when it's inside the walls of the uterus? Well, it tries to do the same thing, thus not expelling it in the uterine cavity out through the cervix, out through the vagina, but it's trying to do that within the circulatory system. Understand, your circulatory system is used to send the blood, but also send a lot of things out through. It also carries a lot of bad. Hold on, I'm not making any sense for a second. I'm getting triggered by the UFE. The circulatory system has bad and good in it. Okay. The thing about it is that it can carry proper nutrients to the various parts of your body and vital organs, but it also carries bad things to certain organs to actually get them filtered. It also is where you have where a lot of your plaque is flowing in this area as well. So you're going to have good and the bad flowing within the circulatory system. And so the body is thinking, well, let me go ahead and dump it in the circulatory system so that one of the other major organs can expel it or dissolve it or do something with it. And that's not possible because these are plastic particles that are inside your body. And so this is the reason why, and that's the reason why this is going to cause a heart attack if it gets to the heart, or a stroke, because the valve in the heart will get clogged up with these plastic pellets. It's not supposed to be in there whatsoever. And there have been situations where women have passed away because of this. So this is why I want you all to understand it. I find it really strange that they are promoting UFE, because you know what? Although I am not pro myomectomy, if you want to know the least of all evils, is, I don't like any of this. I can't even say the least of all evils, but at least with a myomectomy, you keep your uterus. At least with a myomectomy, it's a temporary relief. But what happens is that they do the myomectomy and they don't tell you why they grew back. They don't tell you what you did that made the fibroids grow in the first place. This is what they don't want to tell you, because they want you to come back so that they can set you up for other procedures. All right. So it cause abnormal bleeding, injury to the uterus. I just explained that. Infection of the uterus on the puncture site in the groin. And this happens because of that doesn't happen to most women, but some women do get an infection there, but they also get an infection if the plastic particles within the uterus just basically cause a reaction. Some women are, these are not BPA free. I don't mean to make light of this, but I had to laugh at that. These are not BPA free plastic pellets. All right. So the chemicals that are used to create these pellets, some women will have an allergic reaction to that. So here we have let's see, hematomen, which is a large accumulation of blood, such as with a bruise, and that's at the puncture site of the groin. That will eventually go away. Injury to the artery being manipulated. Of course, what happens with that is that if this is too compact, because once they send this catheter inside the artery, you have no control over the pellets, the plastic pellets that are being pushed into the artery, into the veins. Sometimes when those pellets begin to dam up and they begin to expand, it will cause injury to the veins. If your veins are strong enough, it will resist the expansion and therefore force the pellets to go into other areas. This doesn't happen to every woman. This happens to some, but this is what they mean when it says causing pain, causing injury to the veins. And of course we have blood clots, that's a given. And most of all, infertility. This is why I don't know what I have had, not that many, but I've had, since I came back in business and started accepting clients for anything dealing with their uterus. I have a few that said, that they can't get pregnant. I said, yeah, this causes infertility. What you can't get pregnant with something like this. What are you talking about? This is right here, these procedures right here. Yeah, you can't get pregnant. What are you doing? This is dangerous. Remember, I told you, soon as you gain weight, you are going to cause yourself for these particles, these pellets, to expand into the heart. But most of all, the uterus is not going to be in a baby making state when it feels like it has been invaded, which it has been, with these plastic pellets. So yeah, it does cause infertility. And women who manage to get pregnant anyway, they do not carry the baby to full term. Okay. So there's that. And of course, some women have lost the menstrual cycles. This is not that common, so I don't really talk about it too much. Okay. So this is what we had when it came to UFE. By the way, like I said, if anybody have any questions, then feel free to ask. What's up, Binge Thinker? Thank you so much. Thank you, Binge Thinker. Welcome to this stream. Thank you for coming here. All right. Let's move on to the next one here. Okay. And we're going to talk about radio frequency ablation. This is not common, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And the reason why it's not common is because, well, it's not effective. But they still do it. And they do it to women with very small fibroids. So you have women who get an ultrasound or sonogram or a CAT scan, and it's noticed that there are some small developing fibroids in their uterus, and so the doctor makes a note of this during the consultation or the review, and then the woman freaks out. She's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And the doctor says, of course, the doctor will say, "Don't worry about it. Right now, they're too small. They're not causing any problems. If you're not bleeding heavily, if you're not having cramps, don't have a problem. You don't have to worry about it." But the woman doesn't care. She wants something done about it right then and there. And this is how you do radio frequency ablation. This is a procedure that is done from heat. And what they do is that they send in, and the best way I can explain this is that they use these needles that they stick down into the through the stomach or the abdomen area. They stick it through to the uterus and until it touches the fibroid, and then they use these radio frequencies in order to kill it. But it's really not. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's some really bad pictures of this. And yeah, I don't, wait a minute, is this it? No, this is not it. Sorry. Wrong picture. Wrong picture. This is it right here. So what they do is that they send these prawns right down into the uterus, okay, until it touches the fibroid. And then they send these radio waves from a generator into the fibroid to kill it, and it doesn't have a huge success rate. So here you have it right here. So these are the needles. You're under anesthesia. You're actually out like a light because this hurts like the Dickens. And what they do is they put the frequency wires here, and then this goes to the generator, and that's what they do. If it's small, it does work. When the fibroids are small, this does work for the most part. It's just that when the fibroids get into medium size, it doesn't work. It may paralyze the fibroids for a little bit, but when you keep eating the way you're eating, when you keep drinking what you're drinking, when you keep thinking the way you think, when you don't want to release a lot of the baggage, okay? If you don't want to release a lot of baggage that you have in your mental state of mind, they will continue to be there. They will continue to grow. This is what I'm saying. These are not remedies to make your uterus healthy to the point where you don't have fibroids anymore, okay? So that's what I want y'all to understand. So this is the reason why a lot of women are like, I've never had this be suggested to me. And that's because most women fibroids are in a medium to large to extremely large stage, and the small ones don't count because you have all those other big ones. So let's move on to something else. And we have laparoscopic or robotic myomectomies. Now, here's the deal with myomectomies. All they're doing is going into the uterus and removing the fibroids. That's it. It's just that simple. That's all they're doing is going there and they're removing. I did it again, didn't I? They're going in there and they're just removing the fibroids. And this is where you have a scar here. But all they're doing is going into the area where they make an incision, and then they clip out the lifelines to the fibroids. They seal those lifelines up so you don't have any internal bleeding, and they remove it. Let me say something in reference to myomectomies. I will say this. I have, if a woman is, because I have told a woman that if she wants to get a myomectomy, I would support that, because, I would tell her, like, if you have a timeline, you're trying to get pregnant, and you have this huge, this ridiculously huge fibroid that's a submucosal, and that fibroid is so big that it's going to take about 2 to 3 years to completely shrink. And you want to have a baby within less than that, like a year or no more than 2. Well, that's not going to happen. So under those circumstances, I am going to say, yeah, go ahead and get the myomectomy if that's what you want. All right. And then once you get it, we will go through a program where we're healing the uterus from that surgery. And then we're going to rebuild your entire system to the point where you are now changing your lifestyle to prevent new fibroids from growing. The reason why most women will have their fibroids return is because you did the very thing that caused the fibroids to grow in the first place. You haven't stopped the very habit. You haven't changed your lifestyle that will make your uterus fibroid free. And so those who have come to me and they say, I got a myomectomy a month ago. I got a myomectomy 2 months ago. I don't want these to grow back. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Bet. Got you. We can do this. Okay, we can do this. What's up, SD Digital? We can do this. And so we deal with their diet. We deal with their drinking or whatever they're drinking and lack of. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We deal with the herbs and what type of fibroids they use to shrink them. Listen, ladies, and I want you all to stop falling for the stupidity that all fibroids are the same. There are different herbs that will shrink different types of fibroids. One herb does not shrink all your fibroids. I don't understand what people talking about this. Okay, intercavitary fibroids are different than a pedunculated fibroid. One is inside the cavity, completely inside the cavity, held by a stalk, and the other one is completely outside the cavity, that's connected by a stalk. So the stalk is holding a fibroid inside the cavity of the uterus. That's an intercavitary fibroid. The one outside that's connected to a stalk is called the pedunculated. The same herbs that's used to get rid of the pedunculated is not going to be the same thing that's going to shrink the intercavitary. And I've been telling you all this for the longest before I got mad at you all and I dipped. Because I said, oh yeah, you think you're going to find somebody who has a higher success rate than me? Bet. Get good luck. And guess what? I came back and nobody took my throne. Nobody has the highest success rate. Nobody has the highest testimonies than me because I take this on an individual basis based upon the ultrasound. A lot of people don't even ask for your ultrasound. I'm like, I need it. If I'm going to have a success rate, I need to see your ultrasound. Oh, you have to tell me that you know what size your fibroids are. If you're saying that, what if I don't have what if I don't have an ultrasound? What if I can't afford it? Okay, then guess what? I'm going to let you know, hey, I'm going to work with you, but understand we are fighting in the dark. So if you wanna depend upon my expertise, and I can tell you right now, because I've had some women do this, they'll say, Dr. Keela, I don't have I know I've been told I have a fibroid. I don't have the ultrasound to that, but I do have them, and I don't know what kind I have, but I want you to help me anyway. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to treat you as if I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to give you a program as if you had an intracavitary fibroid, because most women do. Most women have an intracavitary fibroid. But I'm also going to say, okay, can you feel your fibroids outside? Because if you have a pedunculated fibroid, you know what that looks like. You know what that feels like. So I'm going to have you help me guess what you have. But there's no way I can guess anything else without trial and error. So I won't turn women away just because they don't have one, but understand that, we're going to have to learn through trial and error because I don't know where I'm aiming. This is the reason why I'm so precise and I'm so effective and successful, because when I know what type of fibroids I'm going for, I know what type of program to give you. I know what type of program to suggest to you. That's the thing. What's up, Essence? All right, let's continue. So, hold on. Let me get back to myomectomy. So I will go ahead and say that if you get a myomectomy, don't beat yourself up for it. Don't get mad. Just come to me and just say, hey, doc, I want to change my lifestyle. That's going to stop these fibroids from coming back. But the biggest thing you all need to understand is that you have to deal with your mentality. It all starts from your mindset first. Okay, so there's that. I had a myomectomy 4 years ago, and the fibroids have returned. Need to make a huge lifestyle change. Well, that's on you, Ty. I mean, I told you what you need to do 4 years ago, and you got them coming back, and you haven't made an appointment with me. Or hold on, let's be clear. You don't even have to come to me. There are other women that can help your fibroids, but I don't know what you're waiting on. You don't have to come to me, but you can come to someone else. So how bad do you want them fibroids to go is all on you. You ladies sitting here with these illnesses and you're just complaining about it, but what you doing about it? And by the way, as you all know, I'm not nice. I'm the drill sergeant of naturopathic doctors. I don't say anything that makes you feel good. This is another reason why I have a high success rate. I don't baby you. I don't woo you. I don't allow you to make excuses. I make you accountable for you putting your body last, not first. Putting your body last. You put everybody else's health before yourself, but you put your stuff last. Shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. All right, here we go. So if you had a myomectomy and you want to, and your fibroids are going to grow back, but if you had a myomectomy and just recently had a myomectomy and you don't want them to come back, you have an opportunity to change your life, because if you don't change your lifestyle, you don't change your stinking thinking, then they're going to come back, and they're going to come back every time. That's how the body works. All right, here we go. So, and then we want to go into, so these are the different types of myomectomy. So this is just the way they basically go and get the fibroids out. Like I said, if you want to know what type of, if you are like, okay, I got to get the fibroids out, then go ahead and get the fibroids out and then come see me. Okay, I have done this with several women, and I've had a woman who had, her fibroids were so big, like it was a pedunculated fibroid, by the way. So she didn't have no heavy bleeding, but she looked like she was 6 months pregnant. She was tired of people accusing her, like saying congratulations and stuff like that. And so I said, whoa, girl. Like when I say big, her fibroids were the bowling ball size. And I said, girl, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not the type of person that's going to rip somebody off by saying, oh yeah, I can get that to shrink in 3 months. Absolutely not, girl. It's going to take you at least 6 years, 6 or 7 years to even see half that to be reduced. And since it's a pedunculated, I absolutely suggest you go to the doctor and get that removed. Because you know what I'm saying? That thing is so big. You think you're going to stay devoted to a strict program like this for that many years? Nah, it's not even going to happen. So yeah, if myomectomies, you ever get that, yeah, I'm just going to be like, okay, that's fine. Okay, hold on, let me see if anybody have any questions. Actually, let me drink some water. I'm just talking. Okay. Let's see. I have a former friend that had fibroids and drank Starbucks daily, low activity levels, and I definitely never saw her eat any vegetables. All of hers came back after she had surgery. It always will. I have fibroids. I know there's one in the cavity wall. I've been trying to get rid of them, but these doctors are only talking about hysterectomy. Why would you come to, I don't understand. Why would you come to a medical doctor talking about natural remedies? How did that make sense, Bernice? How does it, what do you expect? That's what they do. What I'm so confused here. Did you all think that medical doctors are going to do something that's outside of medicine? Medical doctors have a license to practice medicine. They're practicing on you. Why would you go to a medical doctor to try to find a natural remedy outside of surgery and medicine? That's like going to a pimp for relationship advice. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm just saying, like, You're like, I don't understand why these medical doctors are talking about hysterectomies. That's their job. That's their job. They are medical doctors. Okay, what do you expect them to do? Jeez, Louis, mines are about 12 centimeters, afraid of surgery. I don't know how this makes sense. I don't either. It doesn't. You went to a medical doctor trying to find a natural remedy. That made absolutely no sense. Do fibroids go away faster than others? It depends on the location and depends on the size. Okay. I don't know why the medical doctors are suggesting hysterectomies. Like, really, girl? You type that, child, please. Okay. All right, here we go. Endometrial ablation. This procedure can produce heavy menstrual flow. A device that's inserted into the uterus gives off heat, microwaves, energy, hot water, cold temperatures, and the electric current. This destroys the tissue that lines this inside the uterus and definitely will cause you to never have kids again. Oh shoot, daggone it, my bad. Goodness, I did not mean to do that. Hold on a second. This is it. Just one moment. Where am I at? Okay, this is it, but I lost my page, but we'll talk about it. So here's where they have the different type of, let me enlarge this up. Let me enlarge this for a second. So here are your different types, and I gotta, one moment, ladies, I lost my footing here when I got rid of my, okay, there we go. All right. I clicked off something too fast, and so I lost my notes here. Where are we? We were on, okay, the endometrial ablation here. And so that's what this is. So this is where your doctor will dilate your cervix, opening up the uterus, and insert a soft silicone array into the uterus through the vaginal and cervix. And then the silicone array is open, conforming to the uterus, and a small cervical balloon is inflated to protect your cervix during the procedure. And so this is where the system is put in here, where they either do to electrify or put heat and then cold. This right here, and this is what I said, when they do this procedure right here, this causes you to be infertile, because after they do this, you have damaged the uterine walls, the endometrium, and this is the uterine walls here, the endometrium here, and therefore it's no good. And when you have a fertilized egg and it's implanted there, it can't stay, and therefore there is no implantation. You don't even have a miscarriage because you can't have that in your uterus at all. So this is what I want you to understand. Like, this is a terrible, I don't even know if I would say the most terrible, but because they are destroying the lining of your uterus, I would never, ever, ever, ever get an endometrial ablation. This is just, to me, oh, here we go. So it does tell you that I didn't even see this part. You aren't likely to get pregnant after endometrial ablation, but it's a good idea to take birth control to prevent a fertilized egg from forming in the fallopian tubes, called an ectopic pregnancy. Without treatment, and growing tissues might cause a life-threatening bleeding. So this right here is this, letting you know that this is what they're doing is going to cause you to be infertile. And it's like, they let you know right off the bat what they're doing to you, but a lot of women don't research this, or they don't talk in details about this with their doctors. Okay, so there's that. All right, let me see if anybody have any questions. Let's see. Maybe she means hysterectomy opposed to myomectomy. My doctors only wanted to take my uterus, not mention. It doesn't matter. You guys are asking. You guys are asking a medical doctor to do something other than medical procedures. Let's have that conversation. Let's have that conversation. Are you guys under the impression that your doctors are not going to recommend something that's, one, in their financial interest, and two, that's underneath their medical training? If you understand that C-sections are now quote unquote the norm, because it costs $20,000 for a doctor to get paid to perform a C-section versus $3,000 for you to have a natural birth. This is the reason why they will push a cesarean section, even though they know that over 90% of C-sections are not needed and are unnecessary. But when you come into the doctors not knowing these techniques, then he scares you by saying something stupid like, "Oh, the baby can't breathe." Yeah, the baby can breathe. That's the reason why there's an umbilical cord there. How was the baby able to breathe all of a sudden, and now it can't? What they do is that they scare you to get you to submit to other medical procedures that put more money in their pockets. You are nothing but a check to them, or in this day and age, you ain't nothing but payments to them. Okay, so there's that. Hold on a second. I have fibroids and retroverted uterus, and I'm 39, lost some weight, but I honestly would like to consult you for help. One thing, I'm all the way in Jamaica. Got to find a way to. You don't have to see me. You can do a phone consultation or a web consultation. You don't have to save all that money that you're trying to do to come to Georgia. You ain't got to do it that way. You can do a phone consultation and a webcam consultation. The website is halfway done. I am actually helping the webmaster make it. So we are halfway done. It's going to be beautiful. This is I like this layout that they chose. So yeah, you don't have to come out here. You can do a phone or a webcam right now. Told due to my age and not having kids, no need to keep it. Well, it's my body. I can keep my parts as long as they are not going to cause additional issues. True. I know I did not ask an MD for other than medical procedures. I know better. Just clarifying train of thought. Doctors don't offer all medical options. Some are offer hysterectomy is what I mean. No, let me be clear. What I heard what you said. I don't think you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna repeat back what you are saying. Now, because you're not listening to me. You guys are getting emotional. Just calm down. I'm going to repeat back what you are saying. You're saying that you went to the medical doctor, or whoever. You're saying that this person went to the medical doctor, or you went to the medical doctor. You're saying that whoever went to the medical doctor and had fibroids. And instead of the medical doctor suggesting something as plain as a myomectomy, they went straight to a hysterectomy. That's what you're saying, right? They're not recommending a myomectomy. They're recommending a hysterectomy. Am I off? I don't think I'm off. I heard what you're saying. What you're not listening to me is that I'm telling you that the doctor does what the doctor does. He does not have to tell you that a myomectomy is better because it's not in his financial interests. Why would he suggest a myomectomy when he can suggest a hysterectomy, which is triple the cost. But here's the deal about a hysterectomy. Not only, see, you get a myomectomy, it's a one and done. Okay, it's a one and done. Apparently you don't know, because you keep reiterating my points. I want you to repeat back what I'm saying. The doctor said that if I ever plan to have kids, that I need to have a C-section to avoid uterine ruptures after my myomectomy. And see, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. They tell you all this, okay? If you all understand my points, repeat my point back to me. Don't tell me your point, because I understand I got your point. That's why I'm repeating back your points to you. So it's like, I'm just saying that the medical doctors are never going to suggest anything unless it's in their financial interest. And that's what I want you all to start using, that type of language. I want you to say, hey, the doctor suggested something more extreme because that was in his financial interest. I don't know if you all don't want to say that because you think your doctor is a nice doctor, and they could be a very nice doctor. They could be a very loving doctor. They could be a doctor that you've known for years, but they're still a medical doctor, and they're still going to do what's in their best interest. They're going to do what's in their best financial interests. It's like, you're going to bet people who are bad, and they're just going to, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I told my doctor she wanted to make the money. Yes, there we go. Yes. That's what I want you all to start saying. Stop looking at these people. That made me very happy that you typed that. Because you know when I'm having a problem with women, I have a problem with women with this compassion, this empathy, thinking that these doctors are looking out for their best interests. Yes, I see you knew better. I was told that too. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at J1. I was told due to my age and hysterectomy would be in my best interest. I told them they ain't taking my uterus. Okay, very good, Bernice. Very good. So that's what I want you all to do. I'm just gonna say this. You wearing scrubs, I don't trust you. I don't relax around scrubs. I don't relax around white coats either. I just know that these people don't know other methods except for what they teach them. That's all that is. And so I don't go to these people for anything dealing with health prevention. Okay? When I had, well, as you all know, when I had fibroids, I didn't even know I had fibroids because it was the cervical cancer that I was diagnosed with, and how the fibroids were happened to be a second problem. But of course, when the cancer was reversed naturally, that's when the fibroids by default went away. So that's how that worked. All right, let's go on the last thing where we're going to talk, not the last thing, but the last procedure is the one I hate the most, which is a hysterectomy. And there are different types of hysterectomies. We're going to talk about the different types that they have out here. Let me see. Can I make this a little better? No, it doesn't matter. And you guys can see it. Let me enlarge this for a second. I want you to be able to see the different types of hysterectomies, because if you guys are having women go into a hysterectomy, for the love of God, do not let them take your ovaries, please. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to let them take, a partial, I'm against any kind of hysterectomy. Let me just be clear. I am